What if Odin survived Kaido and Orochi's attempts to kill him? In fact, what if he even somehow managed to escape so that he could start a rebellion strong enough to take down Kaido and liberate Wano before it was too late? How would Odin's survival affect the story, and what would go down differently afterward? After doing a lot of research, we finally found two logical ways the story could continue and what the consequences would be. For the first theory, we would have to imagine that Odin and his retainers would find a way to escape. From the anime, we can see that Kaido and Orochi were determined to kill Odin, and the truth is that there was no way he was going to survive that execution once they had arrested him. After Odin and his retainers were incarcerated, he struck a deal with Orochi and Kaido to let them go freely. Seeing it as the best opportunity to get rid of them for good, Kaido and Orochi decided that Odin and his retainers would have to stay inside a pot of boiling oil for 1 hour. If he survived, they would let him and any other survivors go free. Odin accepted the terms and carried all 9 of his retainers on a plank above his head while he stayed in the boiling pot of oil. We all know what happened at the last minute when Orochi decided to double-cross him and change the method of execution to death by firing squad. Odin was shot and died, but before that, he managed to throw his retainers, allowing them to escape. You see, the thing is that Kaido and Orochi were always going to find a way to kill Odin after capturing him because he was just that much of a threat. However, since today's video is talking about what would happen if Odin survived, we'll be looking at a scenario where Odin never got arrested and managed to escape with his retainers. In this alternate story, his escape and survival would greatly affect many other events that followed in the story. The first logical action after escaping would be to regroup and find allies to help him take down Kaido. In the main story, Odin tried to fight Kaido alone, but he just wasn't strong enough. Even though he managed to hold his own against the terrifying dragon and remains the only character in the One Piece world to give him a permanent scar, Odin wasn't able to beat him. Kaido and Orochi had already taken over Wano and consolidated their power over the place in his absence. They got even stronger when Odin was busy dancing naked in the streets for 5 years, thinking that his people would be liberated when he was done. That being said, in Odin's search for a strong alliance that he could use to take down Kaido, he'd reunite with the Whitebeard pirates. He would also retrieve his legendary swords, Inma and Ame no Habikiri, which would significantly bolster his combat skills. Before setting off to join Whitebeard, Odin would first of all make sure that his family was safe. In the main story, we see Kaido almost killed Momosuke after Odin's death so that he could end the Kozuki clan. Odin would probably do his best to rescue his son and take the rest of his family out of Wano before Kaido could harm them. Odin had previously abandoned the Whitebeard pirates to sail across the seas with Roger's crew in search of the One Piece treasure, which they later found on the island Laugh-Tale. When Odin and his scabbards team up with the Whitebeard pirates, he tells them about Joy Boy's coming and why they need to open the borders of Wano country. During his time with the Whitebeard, Odin, who's now a fugitive in Wano, would most likely fight along with them during the Marineford War, unlike the main story where he was already dead. The Whitebeard pirates didn't even know he had died until years later when Ace traveled to Wano looking for Odin. With Odin on the Whitebeard pirates' crew, they would have a big advantage during the Marineford War. Just like in the main story, Whitebeard would want Odin to be the commander of the 2nd Division of the crew. This, in turn, would force all of the Whitebeard pirates to train harder and become stronger in preparation for the Marineford War, where they would have to take on Kaido, the other pirates, and the admirals. Due to his experience and mastery of using 2 swords, he would be a big problem for the admirals and other opponents of the Whitebeard pirates. Odin's presence would have such a big impact on the battle that it would most likely give the Whitebeard crew the advantage. For starters, because they had already been training for the battle against Kaido for a long time, Whitebeard would have been in a much better fighting condition. From what we saw in the anime, Whitebeard was arguably the weakest Yonko at Marineford due to his old age and health condition. With Odin on the crew, they would have been a lot more prepared for the war, and Whitebeard would most likely be a lot stronger. So much stronger that he wouldn't have suffered the heart attack, which is practically the canon event that led to their defeat. Odin's presence on the battlefield and his battle-ready aura would give the admirals a hard time. It's possible that Ace wouldn't even have died if he was there, because the Whitebeard would have the upper hand. All in all, Odin and the Whitebeard pirates would win the Marineford War. Kaido would most likely retreat, seeing how powerful they are, and even if he doesn't, Odin and his allies would take back Wano country anyway. Odin would return and take his place as the rightful shogun of Wano, and just like he had previously planned, he would open the borders of Wano and await Joy Boy's return. This is just the first logical way the story could go if Odin survived Kaido and Orochi's execution. The second theory is that Odin could also join forces with the Straw Hat Pirates after escaping from Wano. If Odin, the legendary samurai of Wano, were to join the Straw Hat Pirates in the world of One Piece, it would undoubtedly be a game-changing event. Odin's addition to the crew would bring about a series of profound impacts on the characters. First and foremost, Odin's incredible strength, combat skills, and mastery of hockey would make him a formidable asset to the crew. His swordsmanship, specifically his two-sword style, would complement Zoro's swordsmanship, creating a formidable duo capable of taking on some of the world's strongest adversaries. Odin's ability to wield the powerful Inma sword, a blade that once belonged to Kazuki Odin himself, would further enhance his combat prowess. Odin's knowledge of the world's secrets, especially his insights into the Void Century, would provide the Straw Hat Pirates with invaluable information. This newfound knowledge would motivate the crew to explore the mysteries of the world even more fervently, potentially accelerating their journey towards uncovering the One Piece and challenging the world government. His charismatic and noble personality would also have a profound impact on the dynamics within the crew. Odin's sense of honor, loyalty, and dedication to justice would resonate with Luffy's core values. He would quickly earn the respect and admiration of the crew's members, becoming a role model and mentor figure to some, much like Rayleigh and Silvers did during their time with Roger. The addition of Odin to the crew would inevitably alter the crew's dynamics. His interactions with other members, particularly the Straw Hat Captain Monkey D. Luffy, would be a central focus. Odin's disciplined and responsible nature might serve as a counterbalance to Luffy's more carefree and impulsive tendencies. Odin's presence might also encourage Luffy to further develop his leadership skills and strategic thinking. The crew's adventures would take on a new dimension with Odin on board. His background and ties to Wano would lead to a revisit of the land of samurai, but this time with a goal of liberating it from the oppressive rule of Orochi and Kaido. Odin's personal quest for justice would align with the crew's overarching mission of challenging tyranny and oppression in the world. The Straw Hat Pirates' encounters with powerful enemies would intensify. Odin's reputation as a warrior of immense strength would attract formidable adversaries seeking to challenge him. This would push the crew to new heights as they face off against increasingly powerful foes in their quest for the One Piece. Additionally, Odin's relationship with the crew members would add depth to their individual character arcs. He might share his experiences and wisdom with characters like Nico Robin, who shares an interest in uncovering the Void Century, or mentor Nami in navigation and cartography. His interactions with Chopper could involve the exchange of medical knowledge, and with Sanji, culinary skills. Overall, if Odin were to join the Straw Hat Pirates, it would be a transformative event in the One Piece narrative. His strength, knowledge, and noble character would significantly impact the crew's missions and interactions with the world. Together, they would embark on a grand adventure, striving to uncover the greatest secrets of the world while challenging the oppressive forces that seek to control it. Odin's presence would not only make the Straw Hat Pirates stronger, but also bring a deeper sense of purpose and justice to their journey. Anyway, that's just what we think would happen if Odin survived Kaido. What do you think? Comment your thoughts below. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss more videos like this. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.